Welcome in, quick hitters. Welcome in, Goodimo Short Crew. Well, this past weekend, games are in the books. Divisional round. Houston Texans dropped to the Baltimore Ravens 34-10. I don't think that's too much of a surprise. The surprise comes from 10 points. I thought this team would score more points, but you got to give credit to the Baltimore Ravens defense. I think if this game was played over, Houston would have a better output. Not whether they win the game or not, but I know they can score more points than 10. Cold weather, first real playoff game against a great contender, young team trying to find their way. It happens. We already talked about it was house money this year anyway. They gain the experience. Next year they come in, they'll be a little more polished. So we're going to do a quick hit to run through these 4 games this past weekend. See what happened, why they lost, why they won. So we're going to start it with the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud, fairly well game. We know that he can play a better game than this. Like I say, great defense from Baltimore. They weren't going to give up too much. That first quarter, first half, just dragging along, went to halftime 10-10. Houston had a shot. The only touchdown they had was that punt return. They went to halftime, came out. Baltimore had their little speech, came out about business. Total different team in the second half. In their mind, they was thinking, let's get the young bucks out of the way. And that's what they did. They tightened up the defense. A lot more pressure on C.J. Stroud. Receivers couldn't get open. And they clamped him down. They clamped him down. They was able to get him on the ground. They rushed a lot of throws from him. And Baltimore was looking to advance and get rid of this game real quick. When you don't have no running game, that hurts as well. We're going to break that down, though. But C.J. Stroud went 19 for 33, 175 yards, 5.3 on average. No touchdowns and no picks. Well, that looks good. No picks is great. But the touchdown with the goose egg, that's the problem. Baltimore Ravens team, we already said it before, you have to score points against this team. Now the defense is tight, easier said than done. But if you want to win a game against a great opponent, you got to score more points than 10. They couldn't accumulate that, and they get a loss. It's real simple here. Not only that, no running game. The Ravens shut down everything they had to give them a chance to win this game. So you keep C.J. Stroud as 175 yards for the whole game in passing. Then you go to Devin Singletary, 9 carries for 22 yards, 2.4 on average. Not going to be the Ravens team with one-dimensional, and then your one-dimensional wouldn't even get the job done. C.J. Stroud was 19 for 33. Had to put it up just a little bit. No running game. And then you look across on Lamar Jackson. He was 16 for 22, 152 yards, 6.9 on average, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. See the difference, the mirroring of each other? Lamar Jackson had a better game than C.J. Stroud. He scored 2 touchdowns. His percentage was better, 16 for 22. He didn't have to hoist it all over the field. Why? Because the running game was going. And why? Because he was passing and he was running. As you see, he had 11 carries for 100 yards. So you didn't keep him controlled in the pocket. You let Lamar Jackson get out, wiggling around, making plays, picking up yardage. The game is pretty much lost there. You can't have the guy passing the ball, making a difference, and running the ball, making a difference as well. That's going to be a lot of trouble when they're playing at home in their building. Just can't allow that to happen. I mean, he outran their starting running back, Devin Singletary. 9 carries for 22 yards, 2.4 on average. So he's passing it, he's running it, he's hyping up his team. The energy was there, especially in the second half. Too much firepower. And they put the clamps on Houston, and next thing you know, it's a done deal. It's all sealed up. Then you go to Nico Collins. Guy that's been having over 100 yards a lot this season and in the postseason. He only has 68 yards. 5 catches, 68 yards, so they controlled him a little bit. Then you go to Zay Flowers. He was 4 catches for 41 yards. They don't have nothing shooting off the charts for us, their wide receivers. because this game was Lamar Jackson, the MVP. Running around, making plays, and getting the receivers in key positions for first downs when he needed. Nobody shot over 100 yards in receiving. Everybody was a willing participant. If you're open, he's going to throw you the ball. Whether it's pick up a first down, whether it's a scramble for a few yards, but it kept the chains moving. Defense, Steven Nelson, he leads it with 7 tackles and 6 solo. Then you go to the Baltimore Ravens, Roquan Smith, 7 tackles, 5 solo. Patrick Queen, 5 tackles, 5 solo as well. So it's written on the sheet. It's written on the sheet. They just got out-manhandled in the second half. Houston came ready to play, but like I said, they were just outmatched. Baltimore Ravens got the most experience. They've been through this time and time again. They're playing at home in their backyard. Cold weather, frigid weather. I mean, you can factor in all those things. Houston's still wet behind the ears. They're trying to find a way, learn how to win in the postseason. And then you're going to get this kind of result. But like I said, it's no shock to anybody. At least I'm hoping. It wasn't no shock to me. I knew this could happen, so I didn't pick them this week. I knew how big this game was. And I know how great the Baltimore Ravens are. With Lamar Jackson, MVP, it was going to be a tough task. You had to play a perfect game. And as you see, Houston didn't play a perfect game. They didn't even score enough points to win the game. Got to score more than 10 in the postseason. Very rare you're going to win postseason games with 10 points. Just rarely don't happen. The weather got to be completely messed up, and it's got to be a field goal game where you barely can see. It's a snowstorm. It's raining cats and dogs. It got to be that kind of game like that. But other than that, 10 points is not going to do it. So I just want to say congratulations to the Texans this year. They made it further than a lot of people thought. This is great experience they gained. They went to the playoffs. Not only that, they won a playoff game. They advanced. So they play with house money. They play for house money. They don't have to lower their heads. They don't have to do any of that. Because next season coming in, you get better. You get closer and closer each year till you knock that door down. And next thing you know, you can be in the Super Bowl. The future is bright. Just keep your head up. Let's check out the quick team stats real quick. Now, the thing about the team stats, there's certain things you got to look for on team stats that tells a lot. Well, number one is the first downs. 10 Texans, 22 Baltimore Ravens. That's a minus right there. Key is first downs. Very key. Then you got to go down and look at third down efficiency. They both knotted that up tight, 4 out of 12. Then you go down to total plays. Total plays, 47 to 67. So the Baltimore Ravens executed 20 more plays than the Texans. That's a problem. Let's go to total yards. 213 total yards for the Texans, 352 yards for the Baltimore Ravens. That's another minus. Then you look at passing, 175 to 123 goes to Houston. Now that's kind of a minus and plus. You can look at it because the reason why the passing is low for the Baltimore Ravens because Lamar Jackson was spending time running, picking up his yardage. He rushed for 100 yards, 11 carries. So it's like a plus and a minus. So you could say Houston won that, but they didn't really win that when you got this guy scrambling all over the field, picking up first down, scoring touchdowns, right? So then you go down here and you look at rushing, which is pitiful. 38 yards rushing to 229. There you have it, folks. There you have it. That's the ball game. That is the ball game. Now you can see how this could happen. They put the clamps down. They were able to get into their action. They wheeled and dealed. That second half, Baltimore just playing that style of football. Plain and simple. The football they want to play all year long, they played it in that game. Ball control. Dink and dunk when you have to. Lamar Jackson, get out, make some plays when you see an opportunity. And that's exactly what happened. Look at the penalties. They got penalized 11 times for 70 yards. The Ravens, 3 flags for 15 yards. Do you see that? That's huge. So not only you didn't play a good game, a perfect game, and scored enough points to win, but you beat yourself. This is beating yourself. False starts, offsides, penalties in the secondary. You can't beat yourself against this team. You're done. Right here, the penalties here alone, with the running game, that's the ball game. That is the ball game. So there you have it, man. It's black and white. It's black and white. There's a lot of things on film. I'm pretty sure they broke down and they said they could have done a lot better. They had no chance to win this game when you just look at it, how it was played, how many mistakes they made on the ball. It just wasn't meant for them. But like I said, I'm still going to say congratulations because they was playing with house money. This team was just too much. And there's nothing about your head about. You just come back next year, you just get even stronger. Like I say, they gain the experience, man. And congratulations for the Baltimore Ravens as well, advancing and moving forward. I think with the teams that are left, I think I want the Baltimore Ravens to win the Super Bowl. With the teams that are left, I think that's who I'll be rooting for to go ahead and seal this deal. Lamar Jackson, he's earned it. The guy had a lot of criticism the last few years, even with his contract. People saying he's not worthy. He don't need a big contract. He's not reliable. He can't pass the ball. He just can run the ball. He's not going to be available when it counts. He's going to continue to throw interceptions. He can't read defenses. I mean, you heard it all. But this guy came time and time again, ready to work, ready to put it on the field. And he's proving it now. He played some of the best ball of his career. Best ball of his career. And I'm rooting for him all the way through if he can pull it out. So, yeah, Texans, don't bow your head. Big things are coming. The future is bright. Future is bright. So let's go ahead and take care of the 49ers and the Packers. My. 21-24. Tight game. Very tight game. Jordan Love. Oh, man. These Packers had a chance. They had a chance to upset these 49ers. And the question is going to continue to be asked what Jordan Love was doing. What he was doing. In the rain, on a scramble, when you're right there in field goal range, you're going to make a cross-the-body throw to end the game and throw a pick. That was tough to watch if you're a Packer fan. That's exciting to watch if you're a 49er fan and you root for him. But that was tough. He's going to learn. He's a young guy. He's going to learn. Just like Brock Purdy, he's young, but he's advancing, and he had a hell of a game as well. With Jordan Love, you got to throw that ball away. Y'all not too far from field goal range. Tie this game up. You go into overtime, roll your dice, and see what happens. You can't go out there gambling. Obviously, it wasn't there. You're trying to make a play. You don't even throw across your body when it's dry, when you're in an arena, playing on carpet. But you're going to do it in the rain. And it cost you. It cost you bad, and you're going to have some bad sleeping nights thinking about it. But yeah, you came that close of battling them possibly in overtime and seeing what happens. But Green Bay, y'all future is bright as well. But Jordan Love was 21 for 34 for 194 yards, 5.7 on average, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So he balanced and canceled that out. But he had a fairly good game. And then you look at Brock Purdy, he was 23 for 39, 252 yards, 6.5 on average, 1 touchdown. So he was able to advance his team to the next round. So Brock Purdy is still going. He's proving his doubters wrong. A lot of people thinking Brock Purdy was going to crumble in the end, in the postseason. And I was one of them that was hoping he was going to crumble in the postseason, especially matching up against the Eagles. But he's growing up, and you can see it. So the 49ers are tough out. They are a tough out, especially with defense. It's one of the most balanced teams, just like the Ravens. I mean, balanced. You have the special teams. You got the defense. You got ball control with the offense, with your running backs and receivers. You get it to. No weakness. The only weakness if these teams beat themselves. So it's gonna be a great Super Bowl leading up to it. Yeah, I know a lot of people, your teams are not in it, and I know you wish your team was in the Super Bowl, or at least fighting for the Super Bowl. We're all eliminated, but you gotta give it up to these teams that are left. It's gonna be exciting. Aaron Jones, 18 carries, 108 yards, 6 on average. What a game by him. What a game by him. Both of these quarterbacks played well, and the running backs played well. Look at Christian McCaffrey, 17 carries for 98 yards, 5.8 on average, 2 touchdowns. See, the only difference is they were scoring touchdowns. Jordan Love got 2 touchdowns, but he backdoored it with 2 picks. So that cancels it out. Cancels it out. Go down here, look at Romeo Doubs. 4 catches for 83 yards. Fairly good game by him. Low volume, but good game. George Kittle, 4 catches, 81 yards. He's got a touchdown. See the difference? When you score touchdowns, you give your team a great opportunity to win. You can get all the yardage in the world, but if you're not getting the ball in the end zone, that's a discrepancy in my book. And that's why the 49ers won this game. You know, you got George Kittle getting the touchdown. You got Christian McCaffrey with his yardage. He gets 2 touchdowns. You got Brock Purdy, had a good game. He's got a touchdown. Then you go to Jordan Love. Yeah, he got 2 touchdowns. But like I said, he canceled it out with 2 picks. All the running game by Aaron Jones, he has no touchdown to show for it. You see? You got Romeo Doubs. He pretty much mirrored Kittle's, but he has 0 for tutties. 0 tutties. And that's your game. That's your game. The story of it is Green Bay had their chance. Bad throw by Jordan Love. I'm not going to say that cost them the game. I'm pretty sure throughout the game they could have done things differently to have the lead or to be closer, put them in better position. But that was a big one. That was the last drive. He could have proved that. You want to get on the map? Jordan Love would have put himself on the map if he would have beat those 49ers on that last drive. Not a game-scoring touchdown, but let's just say he got him in field goal range to go to overtime. And then he would have won in the overtime. Either way, he could have put himself on the map if he would have eliminated the 49ers in this game. No doubt about that. That's how close it is. That's how close it is from being great to good. Every sport, when it matters the most, who's going to make the plays? That's what it comes down to. And he didn't make it this time. Maybe next year he's still growing. He's a young player. But the guy we're going to get to later on, what a missed opportunity by him. And we've been talking about him pretty much all year, but we're going to get to it. But yeah, 21-24, Packers fall to the 49ers. Congratulations to the 49ers. They're moving on. And a great team. So if they end up in a Super Bowl, like I say, man, Super Bowl's going to be good no matter who is there. Because the last teams that are left are blockbusters. They're blockbusters. You can go either way. It's going to be a good Super Bowl. So let's go check out these Lions and Bucks. 23-31. Actually, this is one of my picks and fared pretty good on it. Baker Mayfield, 26 for 41, 349 yards. That's huge for Baker Mayfield. It don't even look right. Baker Mayfield throwing for 349 yards. Do it. Seems like Baker Mayfield is one of those guys that passed for like 145, 150, 165. He slung it around a little bit. Pause. 8.5 on average. 3 touchdowns. For 2 picks. That's the only chink in the armor, those 2 picks. Baker Mayfield had a hell of a game. You throw out those 2 picks, man, outstanding game. To Jared Goff, who was 30 for 43, 287 yards, 6.7 on average. He had 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. See what we're talking about here? 0 picks. You don't turn the football over, you give yourself a great chance to win. Baker Mayfield threw 2 picks. 2 picks. Stroud White, 9 carries, 55 yards, 6.1 on average. I guess you could say he was serviceable. Doing your job to me is 70 yards or greater as a running back in my book. Running back at least got to get 70 yards to say he was serviceable, that he did his job. At least 70. He came short of that. You got Gibbs over here with 9 carries for 74 yards, 8.2 on average. He done his job. And if you want to have any argument, I would say they should have given him the ball even more. Guy was averaging that close to 10 yards a pop, and he only got 9 carries. That mean they love what Jared Goff was doing, throwing the ball around. And they had a balance. I mean, David Montgomery, he had 10 for 33. And they didn't just have turnovers all over the place. That's why they was able to win this game. Mike Evans, 8 catches, 147 yards, 18.4 on average. He was catching some big plays. He got a touchdown. So Mike Evans done his job. And they targeted him a lot. So it wasn't on Mike Evans. Then you got St. Brown over here. He's 8 catches for 77 yards, 9.6 on average. He has a touchdown as well. So he pretty much cancels what Mike Evans did. He's got a touchdown just as well as he does. Mike Evans just has more yards. He has more production. But St. Brown was targeted 14 times to Mike Evans 12. So they were looking for him. He was just getting more intermediate stuff. Wasn't big plays like Mike Evans had. But once you get that touchdown on the board, I mean, that's what you play the game for, touchdowns. So yeah, man, Tampa Bay just came up short in this one. But Detroit won it. That was my pick. You know, I predicted they would win it. They went and took care of it at home. I figured they were more polished. Baker Mayfield, if you ask me, I'll be going against him in the playoffs if they were playing anybody. He has a lot to prove to me anyway. But I'm going to tell you one thing, Baker. You did a hell of a job here. Without those 2 picks, because that's what everybody predicts you to do right here. When the game gets tight and it's on the line, they expect you to do something like this. And to fix your career, you got to get rid of these interceptions in crucial games or when a game's on a line. Just can't do it. Just can't do it. But this here, surprising. 349 yards by you, surprising. Nobody expected that. You're edging close to 400 yards. That is a big shock. So good game by Detroit, and they are advancing. Let's get to the Chiefs and the Bills. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How close? How close can you get? The game was in the bag for the Bills. It was in the bag. Miscues, man, down the stretch. And this is unfortunate because Josh Allen going to continue to take some heat. And look, I want to say he played his ass off. I really do want to say Josh Allen played his ass off. He just couldn't make the necessary plays to beat the Chiefs down the stretch. He missed some throws. Let's be honest. And like we talked about, to be great in this league, you have to make those plays down the stretch. He did not make them. And that's why it's always the argument, is he ready? Is he going to be one of the greats? Can he pass Patrick Magician Mahomes? Not yet. Mahomes is still in his nightmares. Still in his nightmares. And of course that one hurt. The Bills thought they were going to get over the hump this year. They did. Yeah, it hurts. You heard the press conference with Josh Allen. Yeah, it hurts. Fans crying in the stands. They've been down too long. 4 Super Bowls they've been to and lost. In the heydays. Jim Kelly, which I witnessed. Because those were the years, those Oilers, I don't even want to talk about that game. But yes, that long ago, it seemed like they still fighting those demons. And I'm a Josh Allen fan. I wish the man the best and the greatest. You don't think I was rooting for him in this game? Of course I was. Of course I was. They had the opportunities. And you can't blame it on that kicker. Yes, the kicker should have made that field goal. What is a 44-yarder? Piece of cake. Weather conditions, you can factor that a little bit. But as a professional kicker, you should know how to angle that if you need to hit a little bit that way to make it swing and catch the wind and bring it back in that direction. You got to know that as a kicker. Pretty sure he knows that. He just mistimed his calculations. Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. So yeah, Josh Allen is still in the shadows of Patrick Magician Mahomes. Once again, a year has to go by and you have to come back with the same attitude and the same mindset and thinking this is going to be finally my year, and you just hope it's going to be your year. But the best chance to beat the Chiefs was this year. They wasn't sharp. You seen how they played all season long? Not sharp at all. Players in and out, wide receivers, turmoil, dropping balls, line of scrimmage, penalties. They were just losing games they shouldn't have been losing throughout the year. This is the best chance for you to get the Chiefs. And I guess you could say y'all blew it. I'm going to hang on to you, Josh Allen. I'm going to give you one more go around. Because if it happens again, then that's just what it is. That's just how it's going to be. Not going to be able to beat Mahomes. You might have missed your opportunity this time because you can't expect them to come in next year and blow games and not playing as tight and crisp as they have this year. Can't expect that. You expect them getting sharper, adding more pieces. I mean, Josh Allen missed some key throws. And I don't mean like just missing players, but he was missing reads to get the first down. I don't know what he was looking at. You go back and break down the film. A lot of people are breaking down that film, actually. And he could have had some check downs for a first down instead of, going for the gusto, out of bounds or just a bad throw. But, man, they had every opportunity, and the Buffalo Bills lost this game more than the Chiefs won it. It's plain and simple. This was here to be had, and the Buffalo Bills just let it slip right through their fingers. Yeah. They gonna sleep bad on that one for all summer. All summer long, they gonna sleep bad on that. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes, man, 17 for 23, 215 yards, 9.3 on average, 2 touchdown passes. What a game by him. 17 for 23, what a game by him. Patrick Mahomes fashion. Patrick Mahomes fashion. Didn't have to pass for a lot of yards either, 215. Look at Josh Allen, 26 for 39. He's a guy that's going to sling it all over the field. He does it all the time. 186 yards. He had a lot of drops too. A lot of big plays. His wide receivers let him down. One by Diggs that I can remember. Usually he comes down with that. Tough catch though, but usually he comes down with it. So that 186 could be even higher than that. Guy could have had 300 plus easy with a lot of those big plays that just wasn't made. 4.8 on average, and he had a touchdown pass. So both of these quarterbacks didn't play bad games at all. They didn't. Then you got Isaiah Pacheco, 15 carries for 97 yards, 6.5. That's a big boost. You don't even have to get this guy the ball that often. And he's just a big play waiting to happen every time he touches the ball. Look at that. Josh Allen led the rushing yards for the Bills, which is no shocker. The man was running all over the field making plays. That's why I say that's what makes him great. He got all these different dimensions where he can beat you out there on the field. 12 carries for 72 yards, 6 on average, 2 touchdowns. Amazing. Amazing. But we're going to get down to the wide receivers for the Buffaloes in a minute because, I mean, to still have an opportunity, we'll get to it in a minute. Wow. Travis Kelce, 5 catches, 75 yards, 15 on average, 2 touchdown passes, 6 targets. Usually he'll have a bigger game than that, but when you're in the playoffs, they don't cut the water off on your great players, man. Your playmakers, they strategize and plan well to cut the water off on them. So you're not going to get a high volume with a lot of these superstars and playmakers in the playoffs all the time. They get paid the big bucks to stop you, to scheme up things, to take you completely away. And they'll do that. Kincaid, 5 catches, 45 yards, 9.0 on average. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 2. So it wasn't big on the wide receivers. No 100-yard receivers out here at all. But the big thing I wanted to get to for the Buffalo Bills is check this guy out, Stephon Diggs. 3 catches for 21 yards, 7 on average. If you look at that alone, you will say, well, if you just went into the game and you said, well, Stephon Diggs, he's just going to have 3 catches for 21 yards. Can the Bills win this game? People going to say, hell no. Actually, they're going to get blown out. That's not what happened. You would think with Stephon Diggs, with this low performance, this game would be blown wide open. The Bills would have never had a chance in this game. But they did. They actually would have won it. They actually should have won it. Even without Stephon Diggs' participation. Wow. That just shows you how great that football team is. When your top guy, wide receiver, doesn't even really produce and you have an opportunity to win. And basically that's probably why they lost the game. I mean, you make one of these big catches, man, this game could be totally different. Totally different. But yeah, and give it up to Stephon Diggs. This man could have been irate. He could have been acting crazy like he did last year. You know, not getting the ball as much as he wanted. But you know, when you do drop the ball too, you can't talk too much. Because he know he had his hand on a couple of balls like that, and they just slipped right through his fingers. That's a tough pill to swallow. That's a tough pill to swallow. And all you can say is better luck next year. Better luck next year. Yeah. Better luck next year. 27-24. Kansas City Chiefs. But Kansas City Chiefs, congratulations to y'all as well. Y'all advancing. I'll tell you one thing. If these Chiefs get back to the Super Bowl, unless Patrick Mahomes finds a way to win it again, after all these circumstances they've been under, how poorly they've played throughout the season, give him his due completely. He's already a bad man. I don't know if that just makes him a bad man. But I tell you what, he's going to be on that mantle for a long time. Because he's going to have to earn this Super Bowl this season for sure. Not saying he didn't earn the ones in the past, but this is going to be the toughest one. Because they're not sharp. They actually are beatable. And I'll be taking the Ravens. I'll be taking the Ravens against them. No doubt about it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gave it away. I still got to do my picks. Well, I gave y'all one little bone on that one. But yeah, I'll be taking the Ravens on that one. No doubt about it. So there we have it. This week was a doozy. A lot of games, man. A lot of games that went down to the close wire, except the Baltimore and Houston game. That's the only one really spread it out. But other than that, there were tight games this weekend. And we're just waiting. We're waiting to see who's going to be in that Super Bowl. I'll say Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens, and I'm not going to give you another one. Not going to give you another one. You got to wait for that one. But this is Terrible Tuesday. Y'all enjoy yourselves. We just broke down the 4 games of this past weekend, divisional round. Now it's time for the conference championships. Winding down. This G.S.Q.H, Goodimo Sports Quick Hits. Thanks for y'all time. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. It's been cold. It's been warm, cold, cold, warm. Keep your jackets on. Appreciate it. We out of here. Peace.